Hi guys, it's a bit later than I was expecting. Sorry to say, we had a power cut here and lots of flooding and everything, so it went completely chaotic. So my apologies on that. Welcome to ECA live question time. I don't know if you guys got the message or whether it was stopped halfway through the YouTube channel. So my apologies if you didn't get it, if you didn't know about this live event coming up. But if you've made it, great. If you're just watching it as a recorded message, hello, and apologies that it wasn't live for you. Okay, so the two main questions that came up through email and through the YouTube channel, I'm going to answer for you on this time round. If you've got any other questions you'd like me to answer live for you, please do drop me a message. I will endeavour to make sure that our power does not cut off again, and I can't help with the rain, and sadly to say. So without further ado, let's have a look at the first question. So the first question was from Jean, and Jean wanted to know how flexible the rota is or the person organising it, e.g. if you want to swap a day shift for a night. Another question is that they have is middle day shift that crosses between the two, and is every shift a 12-hour one? Another block of threes. Lots and lots of questions there from you, Jean. Thank you again for submitting those. Okay, let me just try and answer these as best as my ability. Of course, you know, if anyone knows any answers differently, which I've not said correctly, please do pipe up. I am still just about 2 years into ECA work, so I do not know everything, and I will certainly find out for you if I don't answer correctly. So, days shift for a night shift. Yes, you can do shift swaps, only if one, you find somebody to shift swap with, and two, if HR allow it. So ideally, what we do is, when I started as an ECA, we all created a WhatsApp group on our phones. It's all 21st century and all that sort of thing. And then if we find that one day we needed a night, or one night we needed a day, we will then contact that one WhatsApp group, because you know the ECAs in that group, asking, you know, can I do a shift swap with you guys? I need this day or night. After that, they will say yes or no, and if you get a yes, you then contact HR or go on the website, on SWAS website. I find it easy actually contacting HR, because I'm not very good with my technology, and sadly, and they will then swap your shifts over. Sometimes it's not possible to do a shift swap with your own group, so you can put it out onto the big wide web through Facebook. Also, you can do it through the website of the local one for SWAST, I believe, but quote me if I'm wrong on that one. Or simply contact HR and look on their website to see which one you could pay back or swap back with, and then do it from that way. You have something called payback shifts as well. So if you can't do a shift through because of childminding, or we can't get to work or whatever, and it's not sickness, there is a possibility that you can take that day as either a rest day or a day which is unauthorized, and then you need to pay that back by doing another shift. So, and that's usually done within about sort of 3 to 4 weeks, or as soon as possible, really. And that you'll need to contact your OO, your manager with, and HR. Middle day shifts that cross between the two. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but sometimes in a shift you might have a 12 midday to 10 p.m. starting and finishing, or you'll have a 4 till 2, so 4 p.m. till 2 in the morning, or you can have a 2 to 4 p.m. They do cross over middays. But generally, you know, when you have either, to answer another question of yours, you generally have either very rarely an 8-hour, you can have an 8-hour, most likely a 10-hour to a 12-hour shift with break. And depending on what rota you're on at the time, depends on what time you start and you finish. So if you've got questions about what times starting and finishing, things like that, get in contact with the station you're hoping to join, or you have joined. Get in contact with the people who are on that shift that are already doing it, or even get in contact with HR and say, could you just give me a drop-down list of what is available, so then I can then figure out if I can do this shift or not. Remember, when you first start as an ECA, you'll most likely be on a relief shift, which means you'll be jumping between certain stations that you're with, between different paramedics and different trucks. Okay, that's really good because obviously you're going to be moving around a lot. But that does mean to say that it's not always fixed of where you are, what times you're starting and finishing, and who you're working with, until you get a rota or a line. Okay, once you get a rota or line, then you can choose more or less which of the given shifts that are available, which would be best suited to you. Okay, so yeah, generally it's quite nice and easy in some respects to be able to swap with somebody if you need to swap. You can't really only work half a day, and you'll more likely work between a sort of a 10 to 12 hour shift on that day, going into an evening or going into early morning. Okay, Jean, so I hope that's answered your question. Again, if you've got any questions on that one, if I'm not explaining myself very well, please do drop me a line and I will endeavour to answer a bit clearly for you. Okay, so our next question was from a Richard Gorey. Hi, Richard. Big hello to you. Hi, Freya. I have just received a date for my training. Excellent. Well done. I'm so stoked to hear it. You're thrilled to bits, of course, so you say. However, do you know whether there are opportunities to go part-time? Well, Richard, I've known people to go part-time only after they've passed their exams for actually join the ECAs, and they've been in as an ECA for some time, like maybe after about a year. You can do something what's called bank work, which means that there's a certain amount of space that which they need people to slot in to do that job for that day in that week. But it's a whole different ball game in the way that you have to figure out how many days a week you're working and where you're working and who you're working with. That again is a question for HR, I have to say. I've not done bank work with myself before, but I believe that's the only way that you can do the part-time shifts. And I believe you have to have a certain amount of time starting in the job as a full-time person before going part-time. However, that said, always talk to HR. They are so approachable. They really are, honestly, and they're there to help you. As long as you don't muck them around, they won't muck you around. Okay. Have a chat with them. Have a chat with your manager if you know who your manager is going to be, which you should know soon, very soon, because if you've got training already, they should have an idea of who you're being with in which station. And then also have a chat with people who are thinking about doing the same thing, or maybe they're doing it already, because they'll probably give you a better idea of what's going on, and give you some advice on that. All right. So yeah, in a nutshell, then it's possible to do part-time. It just depends on how long you've been there, I believe, but just check out. Okay, guys, so that is my very first live YouTube, and my apologies if it's gone a bit wrong or if it's not as fluid as it should be, and I will endeavour to try and make it a little bit more clear for next time round, and I also endeavour to make sure that when we have a time period for saying, okay, we're going to have 10 o'clock on a Tuesday, for example, it will be on that time, and if there's a power cut, my apologies again. Okay, but we've had a lot of rain here, and things haven't gone very well with electrical and wet. Okay. Anyway, I'm so happy that you guys are doing so well. The ones that are going from training and have just qualified, well done. I'm stoked to hear that you're becoming an ECA very, very soon. And I'm so excited for all you chaps who are just coming out of whatever environment, your work environment, your school environment, your part-time stuff. And hi, Alan. How you doing? Big hellos to you. You passed your ECA assignments and waiting for train dates. Oh, my goodness. I'm so happy for you. Well done. This is Alan, and he has been on this channel for some time now. I am so happy for you, mate. Well done, well done. So yeah, anything? Are you have you got any questions for me, Alan, at the moment? So then I can answer them here and now for you, or are you just browsing because I've just happened to be online when there's no electricity problems? Let me know how you. Let me know what you say. But yes, okay. What's your questions then, Alan? Have a type up and I'll answer them as soon as I can for you. This is really quite amazing for me because I've never done this before, and I'm so happy to have people online now. So yeah, the guys, you know, the ones who are just coming out of their out of old jobs and coming and thinking about doing ECA jobs. I mean, it's still, hand on heart, it's the best thing I've ever done, honestly, because if you know my background, I used to do a lot of office work. I did a lot of training. I did some IT work, which I was rubbish at, which is why I'm not very good at IT. Oh, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. Okay, how can you get training dates sooner? You just need to find out from HR, Alan, about when your dates are. They have a set amount of time for that's what they call cohorts. I'm not sure if you know that one. So they have a list of people who have come from training and they're just waiting for the pool. If you remember what I said about the pool. And when they go into the pool, then they'll know how many people they're going to the pool to go into the main part of training for ECAs. And once they got their numbers, then they can organise with St Leonard's, which is where I am, or where your local area is, and then they can give the dates and times for the next training sessions. So please, you know, you're in a really good position here because you're waiting for your training. Just hang on a bit longer. They will contact you. If you find that it's getting a bit too long, you're not sure, they haven't forgotten about you, but just double check with HR, double check with the training people that you know you're going to, and they will get in contact with you. Are you going to Swindon? Okay, so that's the dark lands. I have no idea. I think it's up north from where I am. But yeah, just contact your training people and say, you know, any ideas how long or when the training is going to be, and they will. They're really cooperative with their information. And if you don't know, just ask. They might be giving ideas. Say it's going to be in a month or two or something. You can always ask them, how do I prep? You know. Because me and my dyslexia, I was a little bit worried about how I'm going to prep for this. And they gave me some information about, you know, have a look at past videos and things like that. You're welcome, Alan. No problem at all. So, yeah, I prepped only through some old sort of first aid manuals and things, but remember those do change as well. So, but they will give you a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if you saw my YouTube channels from sort of day 1, day 2 of my training. That was like 70 videos back. My gosh. And they give you like 2 main books to go through, and you'll learn everything you can through those books, even if you have nothing to do, no information at all about how to do the job or even first aid. It will tell you, and they will spoon feed you gently all the information they need to become a really good ECA. Oh, you saw them all. My #1 fan, as it were. Yeah, so we've had, in my cohort, we had people who had military experience and medical, which they knew some of the stuff, but it slightly changes DC. So they had to forget some of the stuff they knew as a medic in the front line, and rethink about how to be an ECA. Other people, there was a publican there who I won't mention his name in case I embarrass him, but he owned a pub and he knew nothing about, you know, ambulance service and things. There was another person. What they did something to do with clothing shops or something like that, but completely unassuming people and nothing to do with medical, and they've all passed and they're all doing really, really well. So, you know, it's a job for anybody at any age. And I know you're not a stalker, Alan. It's just lovely to hear from you. Absolutely. Like I said, this is just something new for me as well. And if I can get out there to people and just give them some hope that if it's something for them, they can do it. If I can do it, they can do it. Honestly, it's that simple. And I'm originally started the DVDs of this YouTube channel for myself as like a running diary. But then wonderful people like yourselves, you know, come along and say, you know, oh, can you have some questions about this, that, and the other? And I thought, my gosh, there's other people out there like me who need to know these answers, but there is nothing out there. I couldn't find anything about ECAs generally about the job. So I thought, why not? You know, just do it and see what comes up with. And now I said 70 videos along, and we're here. So that's 2 years of video footage. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna try and do another live one next week at some point. I'll put up on the YouTube the day and time when I get to do it. It depends on, again, the power issues. We're going to have a lot of storms coming this way, so as soon as I find out, I should do it, and I will endeavour to stick to the time and day. Okay, so any other questions, people? If you've got any questions for me at all, drop me a comment in the boxes, however they say it. Drop me a comment. And I will then get those answers ready for you and then answer you live. And if you've got anything extra, then please do. And certainly, please, if you've passed and you're ready to go, if you've got your epaulets, you know, I would love to see pictures of you guys in your uniforms and things like that, because it's a very honoured position to be in, and you're going to be so proud of yourselves. You know, you know, tell your family and friends the job you do, and you have a very proud moment when you say that. Yep, you are very welcome, Alan, and thank you very much for coming on board and being part of this chat as well. And I'm stoked, really stoked to hear it. But keep in touch. All right, everyone, I am now going to end the stream, and I will see you all very, very soon. Good luck, everyone. Please drive carefully. Make sure that you're careful out there with the wind and the storm that's coming out. Drive safely, and I'll see you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Bye, Alan.